In a forgotten age, deep within the endless deserts, there lived a nation of giants, powerful, fearless, and convinced that nothing could ever defeat them. Their towering cities touched the sky, and their strength made them believe they were unstoppable. But when pride replaced faith, Allah sent one man with a warning, a man they never expected. His name was Hazrat Hud A.S. What followed was not just a warning, but a storm so powerful, it erased an entire civilization from history. Long before the rise of modern civilizations, when the deserts of Arabia stretched endlessly beneath the burning sun, there lived a nation known for its unmatched strength and greatness. They were the people of Ad, blessed with power, wealth, and skills that no other nation possessed at that time. Their bodies were strong and tall, and their presence alone inspired fear and awe in those who heard about them. They built magnificent homes carved into hills and raised massive pillars that stood proudly against the horizon. Their city, known as Iram, was a symbol of their glory, a place of beauty, engineering, and pride. Travelers who passed near their lands would speak of their greatness for generations. Allah had blessed them with fertile lands, flowing water, and favorable winds. Their crops grew in abundance, and their lives were filled with comfort and ease. They had everything a nation could desire. But slowly, their blessings became the reason for their downfall. Instead of showing gratitude to Allah, they became arrogant. They began to believe their strength came from themselves. Their hearts hardened, and they forgot the one who had given them everything. Over time, they turned away from worshipping Allah and began worshipping idols made of stone. These idols could neither speak nor help them, yet they placed their trust in them. They believed these false gods protected them and made them powerful. Pride filled their hearts so deeply that they began to think no one could challenge them, and nothing could destroy their mighty civilization. Allah, in His infinite mercy, did not destroy them immediately. He gave them a chance to return to the truth. Among them lived a man known for his honesty, wisdom, and pure character. He was respected by his people and known for always speaking the truth. Allah chose him as a messenger to guide us back to the right path. That man was Hazrat Hud A.S. He lived among them as one of their own. Hazrat Hud A.S. stood among his people with calmness and courage, even though he knew the message he carried would not be easy for them to accept. He was one of them, born in their land, raised among their families, and familiar with their ways. They trusted him and knew he had never spoken a lie. But now, he had been given a responsibility far greater than anything before. Allah had chosen him to guide the people of Ad back to the truth. He began by calling them gently. He said, "O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no God except Him. He is the one who created you, gave you strength, and blessed you with everything you have. Do not let your pride mislead you. Turn back to Him, and He will forgive you and increase your blessings." Some people listened in silence, but the leaders of Ad became angry. Their pride would not allow them to accept that they could be wrong. They looked at him with arrogance and said, "We see you as a foolish man. How can you tell us to abandon the gods of our ancestors? Who is stronger than us? We have more power than anyone on earth." Hazrat Hud A.S. did not respond with anger. Instead, he spoke with patience and sincerity. He reminded them that their strength was not their own, but a gift from Allah. He warned them that the one who created them could also destroy them if they continued in arrogance and disbelief. He told them he was not asking for wealth or reward, but only wanted them to save themselves from punishment. But the more he warned them, the more they mocked him. They laughed and accused him of lying. Some said he was mad. Others demanded that he bring the punishment he spoke of if he was telling the truth. Their hearts had become blind, and their pride had taken control of their minds. Still, Hazrat Hud A.S. did not give up. Day after day, he continued to remind them with hope that they would return to Allah. A small group of sincere people believed in him, but the majority turned away. Time passed, and the warnings of Hazrat Hud A.S. were ignored again and again. The people of Ad continued living in pride, building great structures and boasting about their unmatched strength. They believed the threat of punishment was nothing more than empty words. but slowly, signs began to appear around them. The skies grew clear and empty. The winds that once carried cool relief across their lands became still. Days passed without rain. Then weeks turned into months. The fertile lands that had once produced abundant crops began to dry. Rivers shrank. Wells became shallow. Their animals grew weak, and their gardens withered under the harsh sun. At first, they did not worry. They believed their idols would protect them. They gathered before their false gods, asking for rain and relief. But nothing changed. The sky remained silent. The drought became severe. Hunger spread through there. Fear slowly replaced arrogance, yet many still refused to admit their wrongdoing. Hazrat Hud A.S. once again advised them to turn back to Allah, reminding them that He alone controls the rain and the wind. He told them that if they repented, Allah would send abundant rain and restore their strength. But instead of listening, they accused Him of bringing bad luck upon them. Then one day, something appeared on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered in the distance. The people of Ad looked up and felt hope for the first time in months. They rejoiced and said, "This is a cloud that will bring us rain." They believed their suffering was about to end. But Hazrat Hud A.S. knew the truth. This was not a cloud of mercy. Suddenly, a powerful wind began to blow. At first, it seemed like a normal breeze. Then it grew stronger. The wind roared across the desert with terrifying force. It was cold, violent, and relentless. It ripped through their lands, tearing down trees and shaking their mighty homes. When the violent storm finally ended, a deep and haunting silence covered the land. The roaring wind that had screamed across the desert for 7 nights and 8 days was gone, but it left behind a scene no one could have imagined. The once great nation of Ad, known for its strength and towering structures, had completely vanished. Their massive pillars lay broken across the desert. Their strong homes were reduced to ruins. The land that once echoed with their pride was now silent and empty. The people who believed they could never be defeated were gone. Their strength had not saved them. Their wealth had not protected them. Their idols had not answered them. Everything they trusted had failed them. The who once asked, "Who is stronger than us?" had been shown that no one is stronger than Allah. Amid the destruction, only a small group remained safe. Allah had protected Hazrat Hud A.S. and those who believed in his message. While the storm destroyed everything else, it did not harm them. They watched as the punishment passed, knowing that Allah had fulfilled his promise. Their faith had become their protection. Hazrat Hud A.S. looked at the empty land where his people once lived. He had warned them with sincerity. He had called them with patience and care. He had wanted them to be saved. But their arrogance had blinded them. They chose pride over truth, and in the end, their pride led to their destruction. The desert wind now blew gently over the ruins, as if carrying a message for future generations. The story of Ad did not disappear with them. It became a warning for all of humanity. It reminded people that no matter how powerful or wealthy they become, they are never greater than their Creator. Strength, wealth, and status are all temporary, but Allah's power is eternal. Hazrat Hud A.S. And the believers left that place and continued their lives in peace, grateful for Allah's protection and mercy. The of Ad became a lesson written in history.